Missing is the brand new Sony film that hit theaters today, January 20th, 2023. And the film is about Storm Reed's character, who is June, and her mom, played by Nia Long, is going off on a vacation with her new boyfriend, Kevin, played by Ken Long. And when June was going to pick her up from LAX, they find out that both Kevin and her mom, Grace, played by Nia Long, are missing. And this film entirely does take place basically on June's computer as June tries to find answers to where her mom is, if she's had a backstory life that she does not know about, and their conflicting relationship that led to her mom being missing. The film is an hour and 50 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here in Max Talks Movie. We're talking about Missing. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Tuesday right now. So thanks for joining me on this video. Comment down below. First of all, have you seen Missing? If you have not, tell me, are you going to check this one out? Did you like Searching? Do you like the unfriended stuff? Do you like the films that completely take place on a computer? Or are you going to wait for this film to come out on streaming? If you have seen it, tell me, did you like the movie? Not like the movie? Did you like it more than Searching? Let's not go into spoilers though here on this video for people who have not checked out this movie yet. And also please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. So as I said, if you're not familiar, this is the sequel to Searching, a film that came out a couple of years ago with John Cho. But again, while I say that, this movie has nothing to do with Searching, other than it's a very similar plot line involving a person who's on our computer, who's on the screen on their computer the whole movie, and one of their relatives goes missing. Other than that, though, you do not need to see Searching before you see Missing. So that's a little information for you guys. Let's get into my positives, then negatives, and my score out of 5 stars. So overall, this was an extremely nice surprise here to close out really the month of January for these wide releases. I had a really good time watching Missing. It is the biggest positive that I can say is that it is definitely a thriller. And I feel like these movies, especially movies that just take place on a computer, sometimes lose momentum because you're not seeing them outside of their computer screen. But I was shocked to really understand this is a very intense movie that once the mystery begins, it's kind of like we're lollygagging for the first kind of 15, 20 minutes. Once June's mom and her mom's boyfriend go missing, then the movie really picks up momentum. It's one of the rare movies where I think I've talked about this out loud before, but it seems like for a lot of these big movies, the second act, it does kind of hold it back a bit. This movie has a really fantastic second act, and that's my favorite aspect of the movie. Once you get into the mystery, there are a lot of people thrown at you that you would believe what they explain to you. There's a lot of different motives at hand here. It's a very complex movie for a movie, again, that takes place on a computer screen the entire film. But they also utilize it in a very smart way. Now, yes, there are, of course, in this movie, tons of conveniences. I'll get to that in a second in my negatives. But at some point, guys, you're watching this movie, there has to be some suspension of disbelief in some aspects of this movie. But the reason why this movie also works are these really excellent performances. Again, Storm Reed, who I've only seen in very small roles, but mainly from Euphoria, and she's going to be playing Riley in The Last of Us. So I'm sure in the next couple of weeks we'll be talking about Storm Reed again here on this channel. But this is obviously her strongest performance of her career so far. She carries this movie on her back, and the reason why this movie works is because of the work that the script does, setting up this mother-daughter relationship that has to carry you throughout the movie, of you caring about this mother-daughter relationship, maybe questioning if the mother has been always truthful to her daughter, and all of these things. And that obviously is half of the work is the script, putting that together. And the other part is the chemistry on screen between Nia Long and Storm Reed. And their chemistry is why the movie works. Because because as a lot of kids do when they grow older, not obviously, you can always relate to this if you have this dynamic. But when June got older and her dad died, and she kind of was starting to grow apart from her mom. And then she goes missing. She's like, I probably big mistake that this relationship really was at a bad par when this happened, and it makes you really want to care for June to find her mom. And I find that dynamic that they set up in the first couple of minutes of the movie is why you care emotionally about this story. You do care about June finding her mom, but then you start to uncover things about a lot of people, and you're interested about other people. One of the best surprises of the movie is this character of Javi, played by Joaquim de Almeida. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. He was a bright star in this movie. He's a character. Nia Long and Ken Long go missing, I think, in Colombia. And June finds someone who they, WhatsApp, FaceTime from Colombia, and that is Javi. And he is really one of the heart and souls of this movie. He also has a complex relationship with a child. He doesn't really speak to his son. And obviously that relates to June's relationship that her and her mom, even though they were together, they just weren't the same as they were when she was very little. And Javi does a lot for her. Sometimes June isn't thankful, but you can understand June in the situation. She is 18 years old. She's not playing this 15, 14-year-old. She's technically like close to being an adult. So that's why she's trying to figure out all of these things on her own. She's trying to, log into other people's accounts, which the police don't like because that's still illegal. But Javi, Grace, and June are really great characters that add so much more to this movie. But as I said, the biggest positive, it's a very intense movie. Once we get into the mystery, your heart's pounding. There's twists, there's turns that people are going to like. So for me, it was a really good movie that I was really surprised by. There were some negatives that I do want to get into. As I said, there are definitely a bit too many of conveniences of finding passwords, of just finding these accounts that maybe most people wouldn't be able to find, even adults, more or less an 18-year-old, but adults at times. Again, I think that sorry, go back my positive really quick. I think one of the other great positives of the movie is that the actual idea of being on the computer screen the whole movie does not feel like a show or a stunt pulled by the directors to make a cool little movie. It actually adds a lot to the movie. But to go back to the negatives, I do think the third act does drag a bit too much towards the third act of the movie, and the big overall mystery wasn't as shocking as I think the movie thinks it is. There are a lot of interesting characters who I felt could have been the people who maybe taken Grace or all of these things, but it wasn't like this crazy twist. There's times where there's a twist, you're like, oh my God, is that really what's going on? And the movie says, actually, that's actually not what's happening. I do feel like the relationship that she has with the police don't really help this 18-year-old girl who has no parents, known at the home by herself. That really didn't feel real to me. That's actually one of the most non-authentic parts of the movie, is that this child isn't in care or with the police. She's literally at home chilling by herself, trying to figure out this herself. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but they actually had a lot of good social media into it. People theorizing things, and I like that as well. So the conveniences, they were definitely a big problem for me. And this idea of like the cops not really wanting to care about this 18-year-old just didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But overall, this is a really good movie, and I actually like it slightly more than Searching. I think it was better from a directed point of view, and I think it was stronger from a performance character point of view. This is so far my favorite usage of this, if people want to call it a computer-like gimmick. I think it's way better than the Unfriended films. I think it's definitely better than Searching. So I had a good time with Missing. I would highly check it out. Very intense film with really great performances from Storm Reed, Nia Long, and Joaquin de Almeida. So if you're interested, go check out Missing in theaters right now. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 70. Actually, no, I'm going to go 80% for Missing. It was a really good movie. I walked out and said, that's a good movie. 80%. This is so far my favorite movie of the month of January. That's my thoughts on Missing. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. More videos are coming this week, starting on Monday with the review of episode 2 of Last of Us. Then Tuesday, I'll get my box office breakdown. We'll break down what Missing did at the box office. Then Wednesday, I'll have a episode 5 review of The Bad Batch. and more videos, including as we're heading towards the end of the month. I'm going to do a ranking video of the movies I saw in January in the next week and a half. So Missing will be on that list. So please subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys soon.